Hello, hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of the RyaNoob review. This is the second video of the day, and this is take number 2, just like with the first video of the day that'll be uploaded alongside of this one, which was the RyaNoob flags on RyaNoob runs Capture the Flag Coliseum, where I went over that game type. Make sure to go watch that if you haven't. That was a lot of fun. So, today we're going to be going over Brainstrm's gameplay on Plaza Slayer. This is going to be a good game. I've already experienced it. We'll talk about that in a bit. But thanks a lot to Brainstrm and for Zero for giving me their games to go over this week. This is going to be the only game for today, and then I'll be turning off the stream right after. So, I was going to talk about something, but never mind. Let's just go on with how I wanted to go over this game type. So, I feel like one of the things that I've always wanted to do when going over these games is interact with the Twitch chat while I'm going over and talking about like, hey, what do you guys think could have been done better? Or what do you think I would say about this play? But that's been really hard to implement into this game because, into the series, because I'm constantly, whenever I want to go over things, I don't want to watch something, rewind it, and then go over it, because then we're not learning about something, we're seeing something happen and talking about it, which is not really, you don't really learn, you just you kind of you already know what happened, right? Like if you already know what happened, you can't predict what. I'm not explaining it correctly. But anyway, the reason that I go over these games for the first time with you guys, I don't go over and find talking points in the game, is because I end up learning with you guys, and I can talk about things before they happen, which gives you the mindset that when you go into this situation, you can have the same mindset as me, or a different mindset if you want to take on that. But at least we get to talk about these things and think together about these things. So, I'm going to try to implement the chat, or integrate the chat into this series, but it's so hard, honestly. So, with that being said, let's go to this screen. Oh, yeah. With Brainstrm. Plaza Slayer. So there's 3 ways to go soda steps. Actually, there's probably 4. But there's 3 to fight for OS. You can't go posters and fight for us, I'd say. I think this is pretty bad because then you get fucked up from snipe. There's nowhere to like run to. So there's 3 ways. There's going top snipe or going top soda, which I always throw a grenade right here. Oh, by the way, they're playing. This is a scrim. They're playing against my team at the time. So there's 3 ways to go soda here. I had to check again just to make sure my mic was muted that entire time. So there's 3 ways to go soda. You either clamber up here and shoot, go up top soda and shoot, or you go like bottom soda and jump to the awning from either spot. And so Brainstrm does what I think is probably the coolest thing, because people have gotten really used to the people going silo and soda to top middle, is he goes like top soda, but he fucked up his jump. Doing so, you can fight the guy at flowers without taking too much damage from snipe, because if you get shot from snipe, you just drop, and that's it. If you go posters, you can't just drop and that's it. You drop and then you get to chase the fuck down. So I like that. I like the starting shot from Brainstrm. Maybe again, I find it really difficult to talk about things after they happen, because I can say maybe he should have been focused on this guy top middle, but he saw this guy dip, and then it's kind of hard to stop shooting this guy dip to shoot a guy top middle. Might as well just get this kill. But this guy dip just doesn't matter that much compared to this guy top middle. Ends up finishing off the kill. Doing some loop-de-loops. Doesn't know where people are going to be coming from. Using the Spartan charge. Eats a beatdown. God, that just sucks, doesn't it? So overall, pretty good first death, right? Got both of his kills for his team. Maybe he could have played it better if he didn't choke in his jumps and yada yada yada, but we're not here to focus on this jumps and yada yada yada. 2 dead! Alright, this is where I can integrate the chat. This is where the choices need to be pretty concrete. In the sense of you need to know what you want to do. So, I don't care if you guys type in the chat or not type to the chat to me. But at least think about what you want to do in this position. 2 of your teammates just died. 1 of the opposing team just died. Where do you want to go, and how do you want to think about things? Because there's 2 ways to do this, in my opinion. There's 2 different options that you can take, but there's like 6 different options that you just should never take. And I'll talk about that after you guys either type in the chat or don't type in the chat. I'll give you guys a little bit. Whoo, you guys are implementing some first response, implementing some older RyaNoob reviews into this one. I like it. I like it a lot. That's a good first start. All right. That backs it. No. There's a couple of. All right. So you guys had a cut. All right. There's definitely a couple of bad answers. There's like again. There's like 6 bad answers, 2 good answers. In my opinion, you guys can have your own opinions. You don't have to agree with me, but you guys are watching me, so we're gonna be talking about the things in my of my opinion. All right. So the bad things to do would be to sit towards the middle of the map or sit into a spot that you can't do anything from. Those spots would be dip, hotel, bottom mid, top middle, and then fighting from blue ramp or from blue window. Actually, no, Nick's still alive. So the things that you can do are hiding in blue, going flowers eventually as your team's respawning, or if since maybe you know yards clear since Nick's over there, or you can just fly to bottom snipe. But the main thing is, do not get weak and be useless. You cannot get shot, have to back up into blue and wait for your shields, and force all 4 of your teammates to just be fucked. We're going to use the word fucked because that's what it would be. Alright? So we're going to go over this. He's crouching in hotel. This is starting off not looking good. He could have flown to bottom snipe and opened up the map. So if he flies to bottom snipe, if the guy top snipe doesn't recognize it, the top snipe guy looks blue ramp and then gets lifted on, and then you have control of the map. The red team has control of the map. Or the guy top snipe recognizes it, but he can't sit here anymore. So it leaves your team free to kind of do whatever they want on this side of the map. And he has to back up here to like look here, and then your team can go up sniper ramp if they want, or they can go top dip and then fuck with people. The bad thing about going top dip is if a guy's sitting here, like if Brainstrm wanted to go dip, this guy could just watch a dip, and then you can't do anything. But because you have bottom snipe control, this guy can't just sit here. So those are my opinions. I think that going hotel is kind of like super iffy. Now he goes to bottom snipe. This is late. Hunter's recognizing this. Maybe so. Like if Hunter's already here, you're on radar. You're in a bad like in a disadvantageous position because he knows you're there. Or like if you go there earlier, you could see him on your radar, and that way you're in a good position. Like so, different things can happen. Fortunately, he didn't see you, but that's because he was late in the first place as well. But then that's the exact same thing happens because he went bottom snipe eventually. I don't think he should have been eventually. I think it should have been right away. Hunter then gets one shot. Brainstrm almost cleans him up, but you can see the play happening. So I love the fact that Zeke should never die in that position. Sheesh. Look how much map control was gained by him going bottom snipe. That was great. There's 2 plays by you want to spread out the map when you spawn in blue and you're kind of in a lot of trouble because 2 of your teammates just die. You want to spread out the map to either bottom snipe or go flowers to yard. You want to have blue and yard or blue and snipe. You don't want to just be in blue. Alright, so 1 dead. Now Zeke's in a similar position. He wants to get to bottom snipe, or he wants to go to blue. Doesn't want to just sit here. But no one on the blue team is in a really good position. So we'll see how this plays out. Brainstrm's in a similar position where Hunter should have been at the start, where he's sitting to where he can Zeke's either got to crouch all the way to bottom snipe. Sorry, reading the chat a little bit too. Zeke's either got to crouch all the way to bottom snipe or he's going to be on radar because Brainstrm's already in the position that he needs to be to have Zeke come on radar. So it's going to be either a long time before Zeke can be able to lift up eventually or he's going to be on radar. So Lupa asks, can you tell us how you knew of that moment 2 dead without when you paused the game? How did you know so fast the kill feed? I paused the game and the kill feed ends up going away. But yeah, the kill feed told me 2 dead. And then you just remember that. But when you pause the game, it goes away just like in real game time. So he lifts, and Zeke has no idea Brainstrm's here. This is exactly what I'm talking about when this is a good play by Brainstrm, and like a not so good play by Hunter earlier in the game. Zeke almost wins the battle. But overall, like it was a good positioning from Brainstrm that let him have have an advantage in the fight to then win it. I think he didn't shoot. Zeke shot really well. Brainstrm shot average, but because it was such a good position for Tristan, it ends up being like a win for him, and then holding on to control because of it. Kind of, because we got yard control somehow. I disagree with him thrusting back to snipe here. You already have 2 teammates top snipe, and a third was going down bottom snipe ramp. You want to be spreading out the map. The same thing. You don't want to have all 4 guys stuck at snipe. You want to get into blue eventually, but I think he should have gone like dip side. Maybe not though. That's less of a concrete answer. But yeah, you're just getting collapsed on and it sucks. Sucks to be in that position a lot of the time. All right, so spawning in yard. Again, I'd love to talk about the chat, but what I'm going to talk about is so not minuscule, but just like it's not something that we're thinking about right now. Anyway, when you have 2 guys that respawn in yard early, so the way that this went is 2 players died instantly, and then 5 seconds later, two players died. In this situation, what you really don't want to have happen is you don't want to go into blue and spawn your teammates in blue. It's not really. And I don't mean this as this is a bad play. What I'm saying is if your teammates spawn in blue, you want to go back to yard. This should be going through his mind right now. It's like, I want to control a lot of the map. So we want to control loop, yard, and blue. And then we'll win the fight from there. So that's what I'm looking at while this play's happening. Where do his teammates spawn? His 2 teammates still haven't spawned. They have spawned now. They spawned in yard. So Tristan is in a good position here. He needs to be worried about people in his blue, but he can then fight when his team needs him to fight from flower door to top middle. So Lupa asks again, you want to spread out the map? Why do you want to spread out the map? So you can get multiple angles on places. If you're all at snipe, they can end up fighting you and you can't end up running. So if you're not hotel to blue ramp, a guy can sit here in this position and not be afraid to take any fights because he can always back down. So by spreading out the map and like being in general good positions, you can end up backing out a lot easier and stuff. So again, I don't really agree. I would say like I would prefer him to sit in flowers here, but I can definitely see why he would want to leave. He has no BR, he has no AR or no SMG or storm rifle, so he doesn't want to sit in blue and then just kind of lose a 1v1 fight. But I would like him to like control his position kind of. I would like him to like not be stuck in this flower in yard side, to where they don't know if a guy's in flower door. So they're, again, trying to spread out the map as much as possible. Giving himself a chance to make a play if a play needs to happen. But sitting in yard right here, you can't do that. I know he's rotating, but it's still like not going to be as great of a position because Nick's going to be yard ledge. You're going to have 2 guys loop. So they want to send 3 guys loop. That's more of a team preference or a player preference. He would rather send 3 than 2 to this side of the map. And that's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. I would just say I would prefer to sit in flowers in this position. Oh no, he's just grabbing the SMG and going back. Doing that, you kind of like lose positioning. You don't know if someone's now right here or right here, just waiting for you to come around the corner. So exactly what I was talking about, except he went back to grab the SMG. Again, I'd understand why he would want to do that. I don't know if I would personally agree with that because you lose so much position that you can just run into a guy killing you. But overall, this is why you want to spread out the map. If he went 3 to loop here, he couldn't get that kill on light rifle. It just wouldn't happen. So now he knows that there could be a guy in blue. That's always fun about these layups. You know, I use these indications because I pause the game a lot. The player outlines. I use them because I pause the game a lot. And when you pause the game a lot, you kind of lose an idea of what's going on in the map. So you can keep it on. But you also have to be thinking, or I have to be thinking, Tristan is afraid of a guy in blue because he hasn't cleared it out. Even though we can see no one's in blue, we can understand that there could be a player in blue. So he's got to always be like listening and thinking while also looking around the map and looking at the overshield and doing all of these things. So look at that. He's like, all right, my teammate has overshield. Oh my god, let's just talk about this play. This is like, oh, so good. Such good timing. All right, not right there. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Overshield comes up. Alright, so the overshield comes up right here. Alright, so right now, I mean, he gets the call that there's a guy coming up blue ramp from a guy yard ledge. That doesn't matter as much. The idea is he doesn't have to look this way anymore because the overshield has been picked up by his teammate. His teammate is going to stop him from getting shot in the back by anyone. Like, these three players are going to go top soda, maybe, and the overshield guy is going to distract him, so he's not going to get shot. So he can then turn around and then fight this guy. Sure, you could say, sure, he could have heard the sounds, but like overall, it was just a great play by Brainstrm. And then he wants to turn around and help. Get shit on though. When you help in this situation, this is a little detail because overall he played that extremely well. When you help in a every time I hate theater mode so much. But anyway, when you help in a situation like this, like you just got done with a kill, you don't want to poke all the way out to fight people. You want to poke out enough to clear out everything. See if anyone's looking at you because you just got called out, right? So if a guy's staring at you from top soda, you don't want to be here where you're going to take 3 shots and die. You want to be here where you take 1 shot and you're like, okay, I can't really fight that. Oh, that sucks. Get out. Nice. Maybe not dropping. Who cares, though? I say maybe not dropping because he could have stayed yard ledge because Zeke wasn't chasing him through flower door. Zeke was just like, alright, he's gone. And then you just gave the free kill because you didn't care to like take that half second to see if you were being chased or not. But again, something that we're not really here to talk about, just like a thing that we can talk about. Oh shit! Alright, sniper's up, looking around the map. Look at where the players are. What are we, 1 dead? Yeah, we're 1 dead, and these 2 players are driveway. This is a 100% absolutely not necessary play. Sure, you're chasing down a 1 shot. You'll probably get a trade, but getting a trade in a situation where, look at these guys. You're getting sniper. You've got blue truck to bottom mid control. You've got a guy soda stairs fighting this guy top middle. If you just kill that guy top middle, which again, you don't even need to know there's a guy top middle. It's the idea that a guy can be top middle or that these guys just don't matter at all. That getting these kills don't matter. Like even if you get this free kill, that kill does not matter in the grand scheme of things. The idea is that you just don't want to die. And right now you're putting yourself in a position where you can die. Whether it's to this guy or a guy could be flowers dropping to dip, finishing you off, and then pushing with his team. So I just don't like this play at all. End up staying alive, and oh, you might die here. But the idea with this play isn't that he stayed alive. Like people would be like, oh, this guy, he got a 1 for 0 trade. I would say, job well done, sir. Fuck, I want to say that. But anyway, no, that's not how you want to think about the game. It's like, shit, this could have gone really well, but this play was kind of bad, so it didn't go like extremely well, right? Like Andy should have died or could have died in a position where he should never die. And then he ends up dying. So again, you can say like, oh, maybe you should have listened to callouts on the guy top middle. No, he should just not have dropped and focused on other things instead. But it's it's not like a big I don't know like how to put this correctly. It's not too big of a deal, but at the same time, it's not a big deal if it happens once or twice. But if it's something that you see yourself constantly doing, whether it's in like 13 games, you do it 5 times, needs to be less, you know? We skip over that blue bait play because it doesn't really matter at all. Good cleaning up. See, this is the situation where you want to get kills. This is a situation where you want to get kills because you're not in the advantageous position. And you also are putting yourself in a position where you're chasing, but you're not putting yourself in a position where you can die. So watching this thing, 2 players drop. So if you go yard BR side here, you're never going to die. I mean, shit, a guy could go yard ledge, but you're never theoretically going to die. Boom. Chasing this kill. Again, not completely necessary, but a trade here is good for your team. Oh, that sucks. He should have died. We're just gonna say that was a good in general play. Doesn't matter if it didn't work out. Just like the last play that we talked about, it was a bad in general play. It just worked out. Here, maybe a little bit too fast. His teammate just died. Going down driveway, you're probably just going to get a 1-for-1 trade at best instead of starting a push. So I'm not really sure about this play. But it could be okay. See, this is the stuff that just grinds my gears. No, never mind. Nick got the kill, right? I want to watch this just for my clarification. Not here. So 2 of his teammates just died, right? Yeah, Nick and Kyle are dead. He's pushing with 2 of his teammates died. Nick spawned there. No, Troy got the kill. So Troy being able to get a kill here probably just should not happen. But like pushing this fast to a place like bottom mid just isn't a good setup for your team in general. But Troy ends up winning 1v1. Brainstrm hits like a good grenade. But normally doing a play like this is pretty bad. Like, yeah, Zeke gets one shot from someone else and you end up getting the cleanup kill. It ends up working out, but I would say probably not going to work out normally. This was an extremely good play. Not the fact that he's chasing this kill, but that he's blocking top snipe. So 2 kills go down. Nick focuses on top middle for the overshield. Tristan wants to block off snipe by himself. Blocking the spawns. He ends up finishing any kills if he needs to, but he just wants to make sure all of the players are on this side of the map. So now go, like, start fighting for the overshield if this guy yellow, shoot him. But you kind of want to be fighting. I think this play could have been better because Nick's fighting these guys soda. And even though you're called out, these 2 guys glass, even if they hear, they're not going to be looking. So you could do the flowers thing that I was talking about, where you kind of just, like, look, you peek out, make them fear you. And I say fear as in, like, not actually fear you, but make them think that there's more people staring, more people on the map than there are. Because if you hide, you're basically just useless. But if you poke out, the people on glass are like, I don't really know if I should go for this kill or if I should focus too long for this kill because there are other people looking at me. But because he's not, there aren't. But then again, you could just die and look like an idiot. So Overshield was had. I believe it was burned by the state of this game. Going bottom mid here. Let's start off with the finishing of my sentence. Going bottom mid here is kind of bad because you can just end up dying. Or like people can go up on top of the map. They just don't care about a guy bottom of the map. So I don't know. I don't know about sitting there, but you end up going down. I'm just going to kind of skip over that, gloss over that because that's an interesting play, but I can't say it's a good or bad play because I don't have too many statistics or I haven't played versus that too much. So maybe it's just like a meta play where you're like, I'm bottom mid, so when people push, they aren't generally looking here. This is an interesting play. And again, I don't really want to talk about it too much because they are being aggressive. Should the driveway... I don't think the driveway guy should be going first. Like getting into a 1v1 fight like that. He goes down. He opens up the driveway path for his opponents. If he waits for his teammates to get other people weak and then goes up driveway, that would be better in a team situation because you're blocking off them running away driveway. And you're not really giving yourself an opportunity to die like you are in this position. Like, he fought a 1v1 for the sake of controlling driveway so the opponents can't run. And now Brainstrm ends up going down. And I would say that's probably due to the fact that he got so weak in the first place. So let's watch this again. This is actually a really cool play. To talk about anyway. Not on his part. Alright, so 3 dead. 3 fresh dead. Kyle, Nick, and Troy looking at all of the positions. So they're in the setup position. They're waiting for all of the players to spawn. Let's make sure no one spawns weird. There are 4. Yeah, all 4 loop. So, in this position, you do not want to chase kills. You're not gonna get any kills that you can chase right now. I think it's okay to sit driveway and just shoot and back up. Control the driveway so that when your teams push glass, because that ends up being what happens. These 3 guys kind of end up going glass and yard ledge probably. Oops. But getting into this fight instead, you're just asking yourself, Like, you should never be able to kill Cloud here. He should always be able to back up, or he's going to double team you and you're going to die. But even though you almost killed him, again, we're looking at this as what should happen instead of like what actually happened. So pushing up driveway here, you're most of the time going to die. Scotty's most of the time either going to back up, get his shields back, which is exactly what happened. Sure, you could have killed him in this specific situation, but most of the time doing this is bad. And then because you're weak, like these players, like because you're weak, you're not going to be able to control this. They could just run at you and kill you, instead of just getting collapsed on by an entire team. So that's how I feel like a driveway push should be happening. Because you end up going down here, you're letting anyone else who's staying alive. If Zeke doesn't, like if the two players loop don't just outright win that, if it's kind of like a parried battle, the two players at loop could then just run to driveway because you're running away one shot and you end up dying off anyway. So that's my opinion about that push. That was a cool push though. Glad I, like it's not something that happens too much, but I'm glad I got to talk about it like that. All the ifs, ands, or buts about what could and could not, or would have, should have happened. Alright. So you're looking at this from a poker player's point of view, are you? Basically, you're playing the hand that you're given and using the numbers and odds. Yeah, kind of. Pretty much. So like poker players, they like basically calculate odds. I mean, you play the hand you're dealt, but then you calculate like what you should do in the positions. And then sure, you can make off meta plays or bluff. But you're basically like counting the odds. What should I be doing eventually? Like from the position that I'm playing. So kind of, but that's a hard analogy to make, as you probably just recognized with me talking about it like that. Whew. Whew. Alright, so gotta give him props for winning that battle, but we have to take a look at the battle in general. I hate having to do this all the time. But these battles are interesting, in which they could be played better. So, and when you're shooting from this position, you don't want to be putting yourself in a position where you're going to take a lot of damage. Fuck, I could have had you guys talk about that, because I have talked about this a lot before. When you're in a position of shooting cross map, you don't want to put yourself in a position to where if you get shot, like fought from a guy close range, you don't want to just die instantly. So in this position, Brainstrm, and this is so small. Look how small of an area this is in general. So most people are like, oh, I'm fighting from glass. I'm shooting from glass to snipe, and then I'm going to be aware of everything that's going on. But think about if he's fighting from glass to snipe, and he sits right here instead. Like, he tries to get the kill, doesn't get the kill, and then walks over to this side a little bit. Any damage that happens from glass, like from light rifle, you back up, barely take any damage, and then the fight that you get into is going to be so much easier. But you don't get to think about that often, right? I feel like this is something that not many people think about, and you just think, fuck, I died. Not could I have played this situation better? And you're not going to... me personally, I can't go over my gameplay and be like, God, I could have played that situation better. I'm going to do that in the future. Because I think about like what I'm thinking at this time. But looking at the situation, and again, talking about it, I think we've talked about this 3 times now. Whether it be the flowers thing, where he could be positioning himself better in the fight, to where he's not all the way out here for when the fight happens, so that he dies. It's the same thing from here. Even though he wins the battle, he would have had a lot better chance in the battle if he would have sat in that position. So that instead of being however much shields this is, I would say he could be like half shields or maybe a greater than half shields if he would have been positioned in the best position, in my opinion. Oh, come on. Come on, you gotta shoot his body. Alright, guys, this is Halo 101. I mean, if you were watching Frosty right now, you would be saying, like, it's a hump. You gotta at least shoot his body as you're leaving. Come on, man. You actually just aren't a Halo player if you don't shoot his body. Same thing. You don't really need to be like walking out here. What are you trying to fight here? Like maybe you can check that position, but walking out all the way over here makes you one shot instead of him shooting you once and you going behind a wall. Now you're like, fuck, I'm scared. I could be an easy kill. Yeah, you end up sprinting and then just dying. So walking that far out for basically no reason. I guess you wanted to go yard ledge, but you could not go yard ledge in that situation. So I don't know.
Sniper rifles ready.
Definitely did not need to go out that far. But we're talking about this from like a viewer's point of view instead of just a player's point of view. Ah! The fuck was I doing? I'm sure I had a reason for that, but I cannot think of it at the moment. Go yard ledge. Alright, the question is, do you want to push right now? You have yard ledge. If you push, you might block spawns. You might force them to spawn behind you. You can just wait for the people to respawn and then set up a push. Like, collapse on them, choke them out, and then finish, like... so basically, like, right now, he can just say yard ledge. Make sure the 3-4 people spawning at snipe don't go to a hotel. And then slowly push in as a team and clean up all the kills. Then you have snipe control with this, with everything. So looking at the positioning, that's exactly what you want to do. But we'll see how this plays out. I really do not want to see the entire of red team just like play extremely passively right here. And what I mean by extremely passively is sitting back and just sniping like from here to flowers, and then having everyone just camp corners. I want to see like a push coming out of this squad. As you see, Troy's controlling blue. The two players Loop and Driveway are trying to make plays. They're pushing, but not like overly pushing right now. So I like this. So exactly, Nemesis ends up going down, but you can see like the entire team is just like slowly pushing them in. Oh, look at that play by me. Did you see that? Two people looking at me, I kill a third. Oh, I'm so good. That's why I'm giving you guys tips. Shut up, Cody. Again, we'll just skip over that. Maybe you could have stayed alive if you didn't go as far without clearing everything out, but that was just fine. Like, I'm sure that was fine. So, got blue ramp. The question is, do you want to go hotel in this position? Do you think all of your team's going to be at snipe? Because again, you want to spread out the map here, but do you want to take the risk of just fucking everything up? Because if you go hotel and just die, then the rest of your team just dies. But if you don't go hotel, you kind of just get collapsed on. So I get it. Ryan gets a kill on VTech. Get a trade kill on Baby J. What the fuck was that? Looking at the team, no one's in position to push. You just hold on. I gotta watch this, guys. All right, so all four presumably at snipe. One guy goes down. As he chased that kill. I mean, that death, dying just so easily is kind of like... Fuck. Brainstorm. Back to Brainstorm. Who cares about that? I just wanted to watch it. That seemed very interesting to me. Again, I can say that play by BJ wasn't like awful, but now we can't like collapse on them because we were one dead. Alright, so now the game should go to a stalemate, basically. Ooh, a guy's hiding bottom snipe. So this is the same thing as earlier. And I understand why Brainstorm's S4 instead of like the top snipe ramp. Like looking at the guy bottom, like clearing out bottom snipe with his radar. It is 48 to 48, so sitting top snipe is kind of decent sometimes. We'll see how this gets played. So in this position, Zeke is waiting for a guy to shoot, like to come top snipe. Blue ramp's gonna shoot him, which is, I think that's me, and then he's gonna lift up and kill. Let's see if Brainstorm falls for the trap. It's a really slow game though. Guy was sitting yard ledge. I don't. Whatever. Look at that. He's fighting the guy blue ramp. I think I talked about. He ends up getting the trade. Like, he's got a pulse grenade. Congrats. But I think I talked about him after. He's like, yeah, like I felt like maybe that was like a a thing that we should have been watching, or like I should have been aware of, but uh, oh shit, it was a tie. That's right. I felt like he was like maybe that was the thing I should have been watching, but I wasn't 100% sure, and then I ended up getting the trade, so who cares? But I'm thinking about it now. What do you guys think? Do you think he got like averaged, or do you think that was a good play by us, or should he have played that better? Like I feel like if you get into any fight here, especially in a 48 to 48 game, you're never gonna get a kill blue ramp. The only reason a guy would be blue ramp out in the open is if is if you're gonna die. So that's what I was doing. I was sitting blue ramp out in the open, trying to get him to fight to the death. You should never fight to the death unless you're the one baiting. If a guy's hotel and a guy's fighting blue ramp out to the death, I mean, he's probably never gonna do that unless again there's a trap set up. But you should only fight to the death if there's a guy blue ramp like getting ready to go up on him. So I would say you see this guy blue ramp, you shoot him once, you call him out, you thrust back. Like you thrust back and then you just like watch yourself. Maybe that's something you could do, but again, we're seeing this from a viewer's point of view. Maybe not. So you're saying good play by me, stay S4, maybe stay S4, but I think it's like just poking at people is a good thing to do. But I think fighting to the death is kind of bad. Oh God, you guys. All right, chat. You guys are great. Like, I mean, some of you guys are great. So like when I asked that first question, some of you guys were fantastic with your answers. One said, if you guys remember to the question, it was like, what should this guy do, blue rep? One of the answers was, don't get weak. One was fly S1. One was get ready to push flowers to yard. It's like fucking great shit. And then some of you guys went off the rails and said like, sit dips, sit in hotel, fight people or something. I don't remember, but it was bad. So now if you Lazy Rogue says, I mean I feel like it looked good. Fog of War during a top tier match. He felt like people were probably on the other side of the map. That's a great answer. I mean, sure, if like it looks good from his point of view. He's like, oh, maybe this is a free kill, but in a top tier match, maybe you're getting baited. So did he just go for a big play? Like again, he did, but like, was he gonna kill me that often? Probably not. Like he got 3 good shots into me, and I'm getting to corners now. So maybe not. Now let's just watch this final kill. I know it was with Baby J. I don't know who the other guy is. Damn. That was like the first high I've seen in Halo 5. In a Slayer like that. How did that guy get to S1? I think he was there for a while. Drew just donated $5. Thanks a lot, friend. I should try to keep those off until after the YouTube video though. But let's watch how he got to S1. That's a good question. How did he get to S1? Like, was it possible for them to know? He slides, not on radar, and then crouches all the way down. And then he just sits down here for a while. Sits down here for like 30 seconds. And then gets the trade. Yeah, Baby J ended up making a, I don't know if it was a good overall play, but he ends up playing the situation that he was in well in trades. All right, but if you guys have if you guys have any questions, ask them now. If you guys anything about the reviews, feel free. Remember Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. We did today's on Friday because I skipped Monday. Just tell me who went the most pause neg. I went 20 and 12, dude. He went 17 and 13. There's a 14 and 9. I like that half sarcasm right there. Just tell me who went the most pause neg. I like it. Any tips on better accuracy? No. No tips, honestly. Then you won the game. I won the game. My team, it was a tie, but I won. It was so funny. I like it. Alright, you guys have no relevant questions. Right now it is 6:46. The esports minor league, I think that's what they call it, hosted by Platinum 5 Studios with the head of the helm is Proverb, good friend of mine. In 15 minutes, they are going to be starting up their stream on hitbox.tv/platinum5tv. Make sure to go watch them. I'm going to be playing there at 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's it for the stream. That's it for the video. Thanks a lot, friends. Hope you guys have a good rest of the night. Bye. Oh, I'm going to host somebody. And I feel like I always cut myself off too early. But I can cut off that YouTube video at the perfect time. Alright, Cody, you streaming or something? I'll host you. I know you're not streaming. Alright, so there's Ogre 2. I'd send you guys all to Ogre 2. There's Snipe Down, but he's going to get a lot of viewers here shortly, so let's not go to him. I don't know. There's Ogre 2, there's Frosty, there's Snipe Down. All of those people are going to be streaming here shortly, so you guys just go watch those people. I'm going to host Ogre 2 in general, because we give each other hosts all the time. So that shows. I guess, bye. I'm going to cut myself off anyway.